Hello. This is me, Hedwig. We are accompanied by our friend Yooka-Laylee over there in the back, and with me I have my commentator, Tip Daddy. Do you want to introduce yourself as well, real quick?
Yeah, hey everybody, this is Tip Daddy. I will be your guide on this journey to collect bees.
All right, so I take the bid war is still is one with 8-bit. Am I right? All right, so yeah, as the patch later on after this game released, we actually got a full 8-bit version of the game's soundtrack to select right here in the sound menu, and I already have it selected. So yeah, I'm just gonna go to the main menu, start a file, and we're gonna show you guys the fancy 24 bees run, kind of a community favorite. And yeah, I think it's very cool to show off a lot of the tricks in the run, and like we see the overworld, we see the 2D gameplay, and yeah, Tip is gonna do most of the explanation. Yeah, and I'll just erase this file here, and I'm gonna give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
So here we go, folks. Right off the bat, we're gonna get ourselves a nice exposition dump from everybody's favorite big bad, Capital B. He's devised a new plan this game to try and capture lots of bees and control them using the evil mind control hive mind staff. So this game is, if you heard on that interview, is a nice kind of combination between a 2D platformer and a kind of 2D Zelda game. So in the 2D sections, we're going to want to go as fast as possible, as you can imagine. And the way that we do that is through slam boosting, is what it's called. So Hedwig will do a ground pound, and then you jump out of it while buffering a roll input, and that gives us our fastest possible 2D movement. And then basically we just want to kind of maintain that speed for as long as possible throughout the levels. And the game will constantly be trying to stop us from going that fast, and so we have to make sure we're still rolling or bunny hopping or whatever we need to do to maintain that speed. A little fun thing about the intro is it's actually more fast to wait in certain areas, funny enough. Capital B kind of works.
I got the frame roll there.
Yeah, very nice. Frame perfect roll there. Shout outs to that. But so yeah, the tutorial kind of works on like on a bus schedule, kind of like how the Super Mario Bros. Flagstaff works, and so we have to kind of wait in certain positions to make sure we get on a good bus cycle, or Capital B will just stand around and not talk to us. But so you'll see one other time where Hedwig will just kind of sit at the top of a drop while we wait for Capital B to move a little bit, just to give us a couple more frames. And so now you can see...
A little thing I want to mention, I'm going to donate $20 for each time Yuka's tail will be pulled during this run.
Oh, I'll match that. I'll definitely match that. But oh no, Capital B just took away our bee shield. That's unfortunate. We're going to have to go collect 24 bees in the rest of the run to kind of get those back. Oh no, is he? Oh good. Oh, he was trying to use that mind control device on Phoebe. Good thing it stopped working there.
Man.
Alright.
That would have been disastrous. So into our first boss fight we go.
Yeah, you got this. This is a pretty simple boss fight. Alright, so it's just gonna come in the... Wait, Hedwig.
I died.
I can't believe you died that early in the run.
Haha.
Oh wait, was that a tail pull I just saw? $20.
Crazy, right? That's $20. Look at our great acting skills.
Yeah, believe it or not, that was the impossible lair, which is actually the last level in the game. The fastest way out of there is to just get killed as fast as possible. And so now we get another quick exposition dump from our girl Phoebe. So the goal of the rest of the run here will be to traverse all over our overworld and collect 24 bees, which are half of the bees, and then head back to the impossible lair. The way bees work are they basically act as a free hit within the impossible lair. So 24 bees means we get 24 hits.
16 of which roughly I'll try to use for damage boosts.
Yep, and then we've got a couple more that are just, you know, you can take damage boosts here and there. So, right off the bat, Hedwig is just going to start breaking the overworld. He did what's called a slope hop there. Basically, makes the game think he's on the ground. Similar thing here. He's going to do what's called a slope roll to make the game think he's on the ground while next to a slope, which allows him to just roll right on top of it. And then now he's going to carefully traverse on some platforms here to get underneath some water. We're going to do what's called an air swim. First, we have to say hi to Rodney, everyone's favorite amphibian there. We'll see him again later. But so Hedwig is underneath the map now, and he's going to be, we're going to want to enter the water. In this game, in the overworld, whenever you're in the water, Yooka always wants to rise up to the surface. And so we're going to abuse that to kind of navigate under the overworld. There you can see Laylee's ears just pop up. But we're going to travel underneath here. Oh, hey, that tweet is a great, I guess, view of where we are underneath the map. But typically in this game, if you're playing it casually, there are coins that you're collecting throughout all of our levels, and you use those coins to pay Trouser, there he is, that snake right there, to unlock different areas of the overworld. But we're speedrunners, we don't have any time for that, so instead we are just going to swim into this loading zone instead. Nice work there. And so the first level we're actually going to be doing is Chapter 10. Typically you'd have to actually collect 15 different quit coins, are what they're called, to get all the way out here. But instead, like I said, just not going to collect any. And Hedwig is going to be entering into Ropeburn Ridge Rerouted. This is a level that is pretty infamous in our community. It's got a trick that's called a rope zip. Shoutouts to Diceron for finding the rope zip. It's like zips that you'd probably expect. We're going to move very fast, but the way that it works is basically Hedwig is going to jump into the top of a rope and jump off of it at the same time that he hits it, and that will cause him to shoot backwards. And with any luck, it'll go really fast here. Ooh, super close. Just missed the far side of that wall there. 2 first try zips there. One thing to note is that is actually a frame perfect trick, and he's running at 144 FPS, so nice work, Hedwig.
Thank you.
Not
the rest of the level is just swimming out of bounds here, so
yeah, great time for donations.
Opportunity for a donation or two.
Sounds good. I've got a $50 donation here from Mr. Cab 55. Yes, the bees! There's also $10 from Ice and Shadows. GDQ is the best way to start the work week and a better 2021. Hyped for Yooka-Laylee, and let's get Hades.
And there we go. There's our first of 24 bees. So next, Hedwig is actually going to enter into, I guess that was the alternate state of the level. This game is pretty cool in that there are 20 different chapters in the game, and then each of those chapters has an alternate state to them. In this level specifically, the difference is we saw a lot of swinging ropes in the previous stage. Now all of our ropes will be stationary instead. So Hedwig is going to have to navigate around all of these ropes. In this stage specifically, to do fast rope climbing, he'll kind of jump constantly as soon as he grabs. It's just to speed up the climbing instead of just moving up straight. But otherwise, it's just going to be a lot of rope climbing for the rest of this stage, so if you've got another donation or two, go ahead.
All right. Let's take this one, $15 from The Shaded Master. It's such a joy to see the impossible lair make its way to the GDQ spotlight. Say, Hedwig, would it be so much to ask for the golden tonic run at the end of this? I know you want to get it one more time.
Thanks, Shaded. For those that don't know, there is the impossible lair. If you beat it from the beginning in that tutorial sequence without dying, you get a tonic that's called the Golden Try. It's kind of the mark of good speedrunners in this game. kind of a rite of passage for us.
Yeah, Shaded Master, like just to mention that real quick, is one of the few people who actually speedruns any percent, which is basically just like from the tutorial straight into the lair and then beating it with the 0 Bs.
It's just like a 15-minute all-out slog, so shoutouts to Shaded there. But alright, there's 2 Bs. So another thing about this game is there are a lot of overworld Bs, so Hedwig is going to go around and collect a few of those. While he's doing that, I'm going to explain, if you've played this game casually, you may know that whenever you collect a B, you have to watch a little cutscene in order to continue. So Hedwig is actually skipping all of those by unplugging his controller and plugging it back in. The way it kind of works is the game tries to take away control from you, but if we're unplugged at the time that the game tries to take away our control, we just say nope and can continue on our way. So the downsides of this there are some actually, is that we can't pause for the rest of the game, and additionally, so because we can't pause, we also can't warp in the map, but don't worry, we can also use the same kind of strat to warp from that B cutscene, so we'll see that in a little bit. Right here too, coming up is one of the best overworld tricks in the game. It's called our Desert Out of Bounds, or Doob for short. Hedwig is going to slope roll up here and get on top of a little area and just try and do a really tight jump there. It's really precise, it's a lot harder than it looks. But there he gets its second try, and then we'll navigate out of bounds over to the first of our secret exit Bs. There are 4 different levels. Since this is a 2D platformer, you can imagine there are secret exits. But because those Bs are on the overworld, we're free to just collect them as soon as we want. And so now Hedwig is going to get into one of the more challenging levels here, Hazard Hanger Hung. There are a lot of...
Definitely one of the best songs in the game for me personally.
Oh yeah, and shoutouts
really this one.
Tater Tot Tunes, the creator of the 8-bit soundtrack, did a great job with it. But so this level, you're going to see a lot of crabs. They're also known as Sheldon, so everyone can say hi to Sheldon or goodbye to Sheldon as we hop on his head many times. Otherwise, Hedwig here, you can see he's doing slam boosting to get himself going at top speeds, and then he maintains that for as long as he possibly can. Otherwise, let's jam out to the soundtrack for a little bit. Maybe Hedwig can give us a few little dance moves up here too.
Not too sure about that.
Nah. Fair enough. So one other cool thing about this, in the other stages, you saw that Hedwig just simply rolled into the hive at the end. Here you can see he's got that is a bomb in his mouth. You can actually throw those bombs as well as other objects in the game at hives, and so that speeds us up just a little bit at the end of certain 2D levels. So at the end of this level, that hive is all the way up on the ceiling, but instead we'll just throw a bomb at it. Great stage there. That stage is actually really difficult, and Hedwig making it look super easy. Alright, so like I said, we actually can't pause during the game, which allows us to not warp, but that same USB trick to allow us to skip those cutscenes also allows us to warp where we shouldn't, so Hedwig is going to travel back to the beginning of the game here, and then get over into the beach area.
I think this level actually gives you a pretty good idea of the gameplay this level, this game in general is supposed to resemble, and what feels the developers probably intended you to have when thinking at possible other games you played in your childhood.
Maybe a certain primate duo or something? I don't know.
I don't exactly know.
I don't. Those are just blasters or something.
I love it.
Yeah, so this is actually going to be another cool stage in that blasters make you even faster than normal boosting speed. So even faster than normal movement makes it for a little bit tougher time, but Hedwig just making it look easy here. Just going to have one more blaster here that he'll damage boost through. We're already at the end of this stage. Great work, Hedwig.
Thank you. Yeah, this is actually going a little bit too good, I think. No, but it's awesome.
All right, folks, I know you all missed Rodney. Well, don't worry, we're about to talk to him again. Hey, Rodney, it's everybody's favorite Blamphibia.
But he runs away because, I don't know.
Rodney,
maybe
where
he
you
doesn't
going?
like us or anything. I hope we're
Maybe.
gonna be able to see him later in the run again.
Dude, me too. Rodney's a bro. Ooh, nice water hopping there too. That's kind of some frame perfect hopping back and forth there. That he's hopping on top of the water to maintain rolling speed. Otherwise, you slow down when you enter in the water. So nice work there. Up next is Queasy Key. It's got a really cool out-of-bound strats. Got to give our shout-outs to Captain Brian. Captain Brian's one of the best 2D level, individual level runners in the game, and he found a really cool out-of-bounds. We're going to make use of this spring berry here to get on top of some boxes that we shouldn't be able to. So Hedwig's right up on top here, and instead of going through the level normally, we're just going to travel over it, skip a door cutscene there. Otherwise, we just get to jam out to this soundtrack and go ahead with a couple donations.
Sounds good. Let's do a donation from the Big the Dave rather, for $5. So you're taking 16 Bs for damage boosts. Does that mean the rest are freebies?
Nah. Nice bee puns there.
Couldn't see the eyebrow waggle, but I was doing it. There's also a donation here from Boop for $300.
Hey, thanks, Boop.
Wanted to donate during the Yooka-Laylee run to shout out my friend Dylan. She and many others made the original game possible due to crowdfunding, and I hope they're proud of that achievement.
There we go. There's our Kirkive. Shoutouts to Grant Kirkhope for his help in the soundtrack of this game. So next, Hedwig is going to get another one of our secret exit bees. He's going to make use of abusing, kind of getting boosted up into the air by that flipper there, and then just throwing a bomb berry at the hive. And next, we're going to enter in another great example of an alternate state level here. So while the original level was all horizontal, since that flipper flipped, now this level is a vertical level. So we'll get a nice climb here instead. Right there, you got to see another instance of what are called delayed jumps or delayed bounces in the game. If we input bouncing inputs anytime the animation of a bounce is playing, we can actually launch super high up into the air. So you saw Hedwig bounce super high and just saves a couple frames here and there in certain levels. Now we're in a water section where we'll hopefully get a couple cycle skips here and there.
Yeah, one thing to note here real quick, like water sections are actually extremely fun in this game in my opinion. Like the movement in this just feels really snappy and awesome, like I've never had it before in a 2D platformer.
Yeah, definitely. Like while water movement is notorious usually for being bad, I think the water movement in this game is really good. But now for the rest of this, we're just going to climb up a few different ropes, land on some flippers here, which will cause different parts of the level to fall down. Cool little strat that Hedwig is going to make use of in a couple spots is jumping early to try and get launched up a little bit by the falling leaves. You'll see a good example of that right up here. Gotta jump on the happy quills, not the sad quills. And just like that, there's our hive up there, and that is another bee collected. Hey, Kevling. Some great bee puns in this game if you like bee puns. All right, next we're coming.
Like puns?
Oh, who doesn't? It's a good question. Coming up next is Turbine Trouble Tidal. It is another example of an air swim within a 2D level. So Hedwig is going to make use of these spinning cogs and is gonna slam off of them at the right time. And we'll hopefully get right over that fence there on the left. And just like that, we're out of bounds. And then he swims into the water. And then now we're air swimming for the rest of this level, so another great time for donations.
Sounds good. Here is a $50 donation from Twin Dad. Have to get in a donation while Hedwig is showing off some Yooka-Laylee skills with impossible flair.
Loving that.
There's also $25 here from Oak. I love this event. Here is a little for the cause. And $25 from Shady Stace. My first time donating. Let's go, GDQ.
Let's go indeed. Thanks for all those donations, everyone. And there is that stage done. Ah, it's Beeve. Everyone's favorite version of Steve. Alright, next we're gonna go collect another overworld bee. Hedwig showing off water hops yet again. Those are a lot harder than they look. Typically you'll just fall into the water and initiate a swimming state, but Hedwig's not gonna let us see swimming at all. So now we collected that beach bee. He's gonna have to warp back over to chapter 1 again. Was anyone missing Rodney? I sure was. Can we talk to him one more time? Let's see what he wants to do. Oh, he's pulling something out of that book. There must be chaos inside of that book now.
Uh-oh.
And indeed, next level's Capital Causeway Chaos. This level, fun fact about it, there is another instance of a rope zip that you could do in this stage, but it's actually incredibly difficult. More shoutouts to Captain Brian here. The man has managed to beat this level in less than 15 seconds using that rope zip. You just go at mind-bogglingly fast speeds. Instead, Hedwig is just gonna show off some nice slam boosting here, keep up his speed throughout the whole thing. We'll also get another cool instance of a trick called a water hop within a 2D level coming up here soon. Again, shoutouts to Captain Brian for all these strats that he finds. But it will, just like in the 3D stages, Hedwig is going to just jump on top of the water here, make it so he doesn't have to swim at all. Saves us just a little bit of time. Man, this level sure is chaos, but hopefully it's going to end quickly. There's our bee. Alright. I don't think we've had enough of Rodney yet. Do you, Hedwig?
No.
No, yeah, I think we need to talk to him just one more time. Because everybody loves Rodney.
Yeah, fun fact, we're right now talking to him to actually put the town back into 1-1 so we can later be able to play 1-1. Like, we basically skipped the very first level of the game to skip a cutscene, and we'll later be able to skip it yet again.
Yeah, that's one of the other, I guess, usages of our USB trick. Helps us skip some cutscenes here and there, so we put the first level all the way at the end of the level, so we'll be back there later.
Do you want to tell people real quick how USB was found?
Yeah, definitely. So USB, as we so call it, that's the trick Hedwig's been using to skip the B cutscenes at the end of all these levels, was discovered by one of our runners, Aljex, who found it by accidentally unplugging his controller at the wrong time of the game, or a micro USB thing just got screwed up. Shoutouts to micro USB and the bad technology it is. But in having a bad cord, he found, I think, 5+ minutes of time saved throughout the entire run.
Yeah, about that.
And then shoutouts to our friend Hedwig here, who's running by, who was, while trying to figure out how to do the trick, was doing the trick poorly enough that he discovered all the other usages of the trick. So that's sometimes how speedrunning goes, folks, is that you play the game poorly and you find out how to do it faster.
I love it.
Also in this level, I want to give shout-outs to the soundtrack. Again, shout-outs to Tater Tot Tunes, who were listening to their version of the soundtrack. But the normal version of the soundtrack is really great as well. It's got some songs by both Grant Kirkhope and David Wise, who I'm sure everyone's familiar with. But then also Matt Griffin and Dan Murdoch, both in-house composers at Playtonic. Love all your work on these.
Definitely have to give that a +1.
So now we're jumping into, if you didn't think that last stage was wild enough, we're going to jump into a wilder version of the Wild Web Woods. The alternate state here, as you saw, it shot a bunch of minions into the level. This works kind of like in those galaxy stages where you've got someone following you at all times. There are these little chomper enemies who will chase after you. Unfortunately, Hedwig is so fast that we're hardly going to see any of them at all. But otherwise, this stage looks a lot like the previous one, so go ahead with some more donations.
Sounds good. I have a $5 donation here from Dashneer. Love the 8-beat soundtrack. And some more love for the music. A $20 donation here from 3B. Happy as honey that this zinger of a game is getting a run at AGDQ. It deserves all the buzz it can get. Bees.
Keep the puns coming, folks.
Probably time for 1 or 2 more if you have any.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm going to try and get this name right. Hoi True has sent in $25. Yooka-Laylee.
Yes.
Yooka-Laylee indeed.
And a $10 donation from Pheromos. Welcome to Applebee's. Would you like apples or bees?
Definitely bees.
I'd actually like both. Thanks.
So there, we actually just saw one instance of the actual cutscene that happens after any level. This is one instance where we can't actually skip one, because if we skipped this cutscene, we'd actually be soft-locked for the rest of the game. But so our friend Dr. Puzz there just to walk on air. Hedwig taking a 6 sniping shot at that secret exit B, making it look easy. That's another really hard throw, actually. It's a really, really precise angle. And then we're coming up to great level here, Gasping Glade.
One of my favorite levels in the speedrun, actually. It has a lot of cool flow to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. And a lot of Kevins. Those are the toads there. Who doesn't love Kevin?
Yeah, those toads can actually go away. I don't want them.
Oh, those
But
those
I mean,
toads can
in
be
this
frustrating.
in this section here, they make for some cool jumps like this one here. Yeah, where we can skip all those platformer sections.
Another
I'm
cool
gonna
thing
try to
about-
keep that berry until the end of the level again to shoot it at the hive,
so like,
which
yep.
actually saves only like a second, but
Every frame counts.
yeah.
Here, Hedwig's gonna make a jump look so smooth there. That's another really tight jump that he uses to maintain that slamming speed all the way through this section. Hopefully gets a cycle skip right here on an elevator. Makes it look easy again. Now we're just gonna have to ride some elevators here to the end of the level, so if you've got a couple more donations, go for it.
Absolutely. I've got $15 here from Spooky Basement. Shout out to this soundtrack. I also have Phil with a $25 donation. Being looking forward to this Yooka-Laylee run. Let's get some love out there for this great game.
Loving all the B ones.
And this one's not a B pun, but Noki has come in with a $250 donation. All praise the lamp.
The lamp, I love it. All right, so now a trick I'm gonna use now is actually to use a little bit of knockback from a bomb I'm gonna be carrying to let myself boost up a fence.
Because it wouldn't be a 2D Zelda-inspired overworld without bomb jumps, right? So what Hedwig's doing there is just kind of counting the beeps. There are like, I think 25 or 26 of them total, something like that. But if you jump up on the right frame or on the right beep, then you just get knocked up right onto that fence. And now we're coming into one of my personal favorite levels in the game, Windmill Way. It's just got such a cozy soundtrack. This level is also home to a lot of people's least favorite enemies in the game. Those red snails can be very, very frustrating to deal with as a casual player. They chase after you super fast, and you can't really kill them at all. You can if you have a berry to throw at them, but not many levels with red snails have berries as well. Hopefully hedweg will not even have to do that.
I'll try to go for a super speed technique at the end here, actually. Let's see if it works. I'm definitely above normal speed, yeah.
Yeah, got a little bit of speed there. Whoop.
Okay, yeah, I gotta take a save from here.
Alright. Snails are gonna be even more of a spooky thing than ever now. Whew, so close. I think that snail may have tried to pull Yooka's tail. Is that another $20?
It didn't reach Yooka.
Didn't quite, you're right. Alright, shoutouts to 99% consistent here. What hedweg just did there was he did what we call a lever bounce. He's kind of abusing the geometry of the overworld there to kind of shoot him up into the air. There's another great example of it in a different category called Overworld Tonics, in which we launch ourselves super high up into the air to get to a place out of bounds to collect just a single tonic. It saves about like 2 minutes or so in that run, but actually shoutouts to Diceron again for having run that in the GDQ hotfix. But now we're coming up to the 7S. It's another secret bee. This is a bee that has quite the history in speedruns for this game. You saw one bomb jump there not too long ago. This is a bee that we used to have a super precise bomb jump on, that you had to jump off in one angle yourself in a different way, and then do the bomb jump. But now we figured out, hey, we can just walk on top of these fences and get right on up there. hedweg again, making things look super easy. Then we're going to come into the next level, which is Production Path. Production Path being one of the more challenging levels in the stage, or in the game, and makes use of, or actually it's a good time for me to talk about the fact that the way that the game works in the 2D stages is that everything, or most everything, is loaded locally. So like as you come up to certain aspects of the stage, they'll always be in the same cycle, I guess, as you would want to refer to it. But this stage actually makes use of some global cycles as well. So this is one of the few where you want to do it fast for the entirety of it, instead of sometimes you can afford, making a mistake here and there, and then you won't really get punished for it later on in the stage. That's one of the nice things about this game. But in this one, hedweg wants to make it as fast as he can through the stage to try and make it to a global cycle here, kind of towards the end of the level. It's also the first instance of a stage with conveyors, I think, that we've seen so far on the run. Conveyors are really fun in this game, as you might imagine. Based on which direction they are moving, they also boost you in that direction. So stages with conveyors can be very, very fast.
Oh, I can make this. Yeah, it worked. I think I actually made all the cycles that I want to make here, right?
I think you did, or at least...
I'm not sure if my gold has that.
Really, really good performance on this level. Not even taking the traditional damage boost on Production Path.
This is wild.
It's a joke that everybody gets hit like once at the end of this stage, almost no matter what, but hedweg deciding not to. Alright, so now hedweg is going to have to do another early warp here to get ourselves back over to Chapter 1. We have just a couple bees left until we're at 24. Hedweg is going to make his way over to Chapter 4 now. Hey, tweet! There's a tweet text box still on the screen, but Chapter 4, Frantic Fountains. It's a blink and you miss it stage, but it's got a bop of a soundtrack. Otherwise, Hedwig is just going to be making use of all the strats we've said so far, just trying to maintain slam boosting the whole entire thing, but otherwise go ahead with some more donations.
Awesome. Let's do a $5 donation from Omega. I see the runner is playing on PC. So is he playing on an IBM computer?
Wow.
Not only that, but he has a USB cord plugged in.
Wild.
Gamma Espion has sent in $25. I can't believe how quickly Hedwig is buzzing through these stages, so I combed through my hive and found some honey to donate to a great cause. Putting this toward taking down the unbeatable Lord British. Keep up the great runs. This year's AGDQ is the bee's knees.
That one was almost too much. Loving it.
I liked it.
Only almost.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we're at 22 of our 24 Bs, Phoebe thinks it's a great time to come in here and finally explain to us how alternate states work. So this is one of the few stages which this is actually the first time that the game intends for you to learn about these alternate stages. So Phoebe's gonna grow a little iceberry for us to freeze this little patch of water that the chapter is standing in, and as you can imagine, the chapter itself is gonna get frozen. And just like that, frantic fountains frozen. It's another instance also that we can't actually skip that cutscene, because if we tried to, we would, well, we'd just break it. We'd soft lock everywhere. As you can see, all of those fountains that used to be spewing water everywhere now act as platforms and kind of stairs in certain places that we have to go up. So another cool instance of alternate states. And there's a lot more really inventive ones that we aren't even going to be showing off today during the run. Like I said, there's 20 total chapters in the game, each with their own alternate state. And we play through, I think, 12, or how many? 16 of the levels.
Yeah, 16.
So a lot more where that came from. So feel free to check out the game, folks. It's a great time. Now we're just gonna slide down an ice slide for the rest of this. Hope we don't get any ice bumps, but go ahead and throw in another donation.
Awesome. DurKO has sent in $100. I am blown away by the progress of Impossible Lair and so hyped to see all the new strats. Good luck and have fun, Hedwig.
Hey, thanks, Durko.
Love you, Durko.
I've also got $64 from Super Luigi Brews. You rock, Hedwig. Thanks for playing.
Hey, that's actually one of the Platonic team members. Thanks so much for your support. All right, so now that we're at 23 Bs, we need one more, and we're gonna end, our last B here will be level 1-1, the intended first level of the game, so it's a very cozy level here.
It actually gives us little tutorials here along the way on how to play the game.
As if we didn't know yet.
AX. Okay, I will do that.
Oh, thank God we finally know now. But otherwise, nothing too special here. You can go ahead and get some donations in before the lair.
All right. AWAX has sent in $10. I'm a simple man. I see GDQ. I donate.
There.
We also have Pyro Hero Matt with $25. Morning time donation? Morning time donation. And George has sent in $250. Love the runs and the awesome work you guys do each year. Been watching GDQ since 2014, and I look forward to seeing many more in the future.
So much for those. Got time for one more, I think.
All right, this one just in, $20 from Lance Charleston. Beatings from the UKAGBQ. Recently finished this game, and I gotta say, expertly crafted platformer that deserves more love than it gets right now. Good luck with the Impossible Lair, Hedwig. We believe in you.
Thank you, thank you.
Definitely agree that this game is
on that
underrated.
note, I'm actually gonna enter the Impossible Lair, or as it's now called, the Not So Impossible Lair, because it actually has checkpoints in case we die. And yeah, it's basically 4 boss fights, 4 platforming sections, and I'm gonna try to not die.
He'll do his best here, but so yeah, this Lair has had a lot of work on it over the year and few months that this game has been out. Shout outs to DKS and the Shaded Master here. They both put in a lot of work on the Lair and how to do certain things fast, either with bees or not with bees. But so while it may look like we're going to be taking a lot of hits here, especially in the first section, all of these hits that you're going to see are more or less planned. But they all speed up the level here and there, so Hedwig is not bad, he is just going next.
And bad.
And bad, sure. But so really cool, while a lot of 2D platformers trying to come up with like normal bosses, this game decided, hey, let's just make a super long and grueling platforming level as its own boss. It's really fun, you kind of figure out, try and get farther and farther every time you play. Kind of almost has like a Dark Souls feel to it in that way. You just kind of have to learn how each portion of the level works. A couple more damage boosts here. We'll be done with section 1 already. Hedwig just making everything super easy. Super close to getting a really cool trick there and skipping one little cycle of the boxes. Unfortunately, took one hit we didn't want to take, but we do have some safety hits, or freebies as we refer to them. Into boss fight 2 though. Boss fight 2 is probably the one that looks the most satisfying to people. It's we will not give capital B many options to not be hit, though we're kind of going back and forth between him having iframes when he's glowing red like that and us just hitting him as soon as possible. The other cool thing there, you're seeing Hedwig jump into the air and twirling. The way that registering hits on capital B works in this game is that as long as Yooka is falling, he is allowed to hit capital B. So as long as we initiate a twirl in the air, that will start a falling animation and allow us to hit capital B, even when he would be hitting us instead. Just some cool tricks here and there, but that right there is boss 2. Moving right along to section 2 of the Lair. Section 2 is probably what most casual players would consider the most difficult of the sections. It's got ice, which ice physics, as everybody knows, are always fun to deal with. It's also got some elevators that slowly rise and with various obstacles that you have to avoid. But Hedwig is hopefully going to make all of this look super easy, hopefully not take too many unplanned hits.
Yeah, I'm definitely like taking 1 or 2 damage boosts less here than I would usually go for.
All for safety, because this is a marathon.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
Exactly.
It's nice actually, so you saw that the level is now called the Not So Impossible Lair. Up until, or for a while in the game, if you died at any point in the lair, you had to do the entire thing again. So speedrunning the game could be very challenging for newcomers, and you'd have 30-minute or something splits on your lair. But thankfully now Playtonic added in the Not So Impossible Lair, which saves your checkpoints after every single section. So you can go back in and fight the most recent boss. But here's a small water section in the lair, because obviously there has to be at least one. Hedwig making it look super nice and easy there.
Oh wow. I just went right against that thing. How was that not a hit?
Didn't hit it at all. Nice hit detection.
But hey, I'm happy about it. I can use all those bees.
Coming up next here is a specific tech to actually just the lair.
Oh, wow. How did it change directions there?
Goofing it. But Hedwig, what he's doing here is he is crouching while falling off of a platform. And then, oh no, that's a little bit of a costly death, or a costly fall in. But he is crouching while falling off of a platform, and then you can initiate a roll while you're doing that. So saves a little bit of time here and there.
Not feeling too good on my bees anymore. I'll definitely gonna play it a little more safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might just have to play a little safe in section 3 depending on our bee count, but we'll see. Another elevator here with copter minions that we have to avoid. And coming up to one of the toughest parts of this stage is the icy elevator. So as you can see, or you probably haven't noticed yet, but like these elevators only move upwards while we are actually on them. So Hedwig is going to try as best as he can to not have it go back down. It all kind of depends on what the cycles of these moving saw blades are. Looks like he only had to jump twice there. Pretty good. RNG. Get up to these copter minions. Again, don't think I'd have to jump over any of those. Oh,
yeah, actually I had to jump over that one.
There we go. Pass our icy elevator. We've just got some ropes to end this section off.
So to put this into a little bit of context, in section 3 I'd usually like to take 4 5-ish damage boosts. I'll probably go for like 1 less or something. We'll see.
There we go. There's section 2. Section 3 here is one instance of a fight where there is a lot of RNG involved in it. Capital B decides to throw bombs at certain times in the fight, and we want him to throw them as soon as he possibly can at any given point. He also has a little bit of RNG for where he stays or where he flies to, so hopefully we'll get some good RNG. But I guess he's gonna move once, so not too bad.
Oh man.
Capital B getting a nice snipe there. And Hedwig here gonna make some really cool looking hits on Capital B. He's gonna hit him as he's flying away, and then we're gonna hit him right here. We're technically not supposed to, making use of a trick called a delayed slam boost, which we kind of similar to delayed bounces. Anytime during that slam animation, we can jump out of it. So Yooka actually just kind of hops into the air just a little bit on a slam, so we'll make use of that. So section 3 here has a lot more conveyors in it, as well as a lot of moving saw blades. So while the stage is already hard enough, now we're going to add in conveyors and moving as fast as possible through things. Going to take a little bit safer here because of our beat count, but still you'll see I've been just zipping on through the stage. A little bit of a safety bounce there. Coming up to what we call our conveyor vader. If you thought conveyors were fun, well, how about turning them into an elevator as well?
Oh man.
Almost getting the super cool trick. You can do a delayed spin bounce off of that minion just to get even further. Unfortunately not getting it, but just losing a bee for that. No time. And so here's the ending of section 3. Capital B wants us to, you know, platform on these things that go down, or they're collapsing platforms as you stand on them and they fall in. But we say, nah, we just want to zip over everything. So that's section 3. And now we have the last boss phase. Capital B, as you can tell, really likes his conveyors, so he decided to finally add one to his boss fight as well. This fight's gonna look really nice. We're actually skipping a lot of the boss fight here if you play this casually. Capital B shoots out a lot of different orbs here and there. He throws bombs like in different places, but we're gonna skip most everything. This is one of the few attacks we'll see here, this yellow orb attack. But otherwise, Hedwig is just gonna skip past all of these various fight patterns.
That was unoptimal.
Nice extra hit there, though. Uh-oh, down to 0 Bs, folks.
I'm feeling very good about this. Oh man, I think I actually could have gotten one in there.
Shoutouts to the OG Yooka-Laylee there. If you Capital B likes to shoot homing stingers, he still does in this game. But there was pretty much the last hit on Capital B. Now Capital B is getting a little desperate, so he's going to throw in some more saw blades at us. But thankfully it's just a single hit. He drops his hive mind here, and we're actually going to take control of Capital B.
Moving him around. I think this is the last opportunity for like 1 or 2 donations actually before the escape sequence.
Sounds good. Let's take this $100 donation from Ruskles06. I cannot believe Wasp Hedwig is doing this run. I thought I horned it all before. And one more real quick from Ori Sky with $25. This speedrun of Ori and the Will of the Bees looks different than I remember.
Definitely different. But so now, what game would be complete without a self-destructing sequence? Hedwig actually, unfortunately, losing Laylee there, which will make this last portion a little bit slower.
And scarier.
Definitely scarier, too. Without Laylee, we don't actually have the ability to slam down. Instead, Hedwig would just have to take this slow and safe. No meme damage. There's a nice little area there where you can just get bopped into a spike for no reason. Definitely making me clench here, Hedwig.
Yes, I understand that. I'll take this platform. Oh, for a moment I thought I'd fall between the rope and the thing there.
I did too, but we're home free here. Not many things that will kill us at this point.
Ooh.
And time coming up here.
And time. Oh, I guess Yooka's tail got pulled a second time here.
Oh, you're right. There, we got 2 pulls.
That makes it 40.
And so one last thing that we didn't actually mention, because of those USB strats, we actually don't ever get to see the credits. The game is confused and is trying to play a cutscene that plays after Chapter 4-2. But that's the end of the game.
You know what? I'll make it 50 with like a real life Yooka's tail pull. Crazy, right? Fancy. Oh no, he lost lane. Anyways, very grateful for being able to show off this game. Huge love to all the runners, to Platonic for supporting us. Even had some people in the chat here. Yeah, I'm just very happy for having been able to be here. Everyone keep donating, and thanks to Tip as well for commentating.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us, GDQ. If anyone wants to check out the game, you can find us on speedrun.com, get on our Discord.
What was the end time?
I've got the end time as 50:53.
Oh, I'm very happy on that.
That's a great run.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. Hedwig, thank you so much for that amazing run. I tell you, chat has been absolutely buzzing over that one. Still trying to catch up on some donations from that. Kiwi Basket sent in $5 and said, great job on the run. Hive 5. We also had a $50 donation here from Sarais. Sarais here, considering how much this plays like Donkey Kong Country, would the collection of levels be an ape-biary? Inquiring minds want to know. We also had a $50 donation come in from Ronze. No comment on that, but thank you so much. Aoin sent in $100. Watching GDQ on my second screen while working, making the time pass. Let's get that Hades run. It's my 2020 game of the year. Y'all are really going in on that one. We are at almost $4,000 out of the $75,000 there. And let's see here, a $25 donation in from John's number 3. First timer here, loving the experience. Glad to have you along. All right, looks like it is time for another Twitch ad. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we're back. This is Awesome Games Done Quick 2021 online, powered by Twitch. I'm Mr. Game & Shout, and I'm so happy to be with you here as we get ready for our next run. One more quick donation here. Lots of love for that Hades incentive. I've got $15 from Anonymous. First time donating, but I've got to see the Hades bonus run. We are looking forward to that. All right. I've received word it is time for an interview. Blecky is going to be having a chat with our runner for Sonic 1, Flying Fox, so I will go ahead and let them take that away.
Everybody, I am Blecky here with Flying Fox, who very shortly for you is going to be running Sonic the Hedgehog from 2013. It's kind of, but not in any way you've seen it before. This is going to be the Android port of the original game. Flying Fox, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, and I actually was talking to you a bit, and you were saying that you actually got the tied record in this game just last night. So given that, how do you feel kind of going into your run?
I feel pretty good, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I mean, yeah. Just do you feel like you're ready for your run? Like, did you get enough practice in?
I hope so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do a little bit more
I mean,
at the moment.
honestly, it feels like if you just got the record last night, I feel like that kind of bodes well. So I'm definitely hoping for all the best. Now, I know that you have been a part of the Sonic community for many, many years. How long have you been a part of the just like general Sonic community?
12 years.
12 years? What was the first game you ran back then?
Sonic and the Black Knight.
Nice. And then, I mean, was the community kind of thriving at that point? Was there already an existing community, or was it pretty small even?
Not really. I think it started off small at the time, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Sonic community is one of the, especially if it's been around at least 12 years, it's kind of been one of the more, long-lasting ones. Over all this time, have there been any Sonic games that you've particularly enjoyed running above others?
Definitely Sonic CD.
Oh yeah? What about that one?
I just love it. I just love playing as Tails and doing all these cool flying tricks and stuff.
Very cool. And now we're going to be seeing Sonic the Hedgehog. So to be clear, this is kind of the original Sonic the Hedgehog you know from Genesis, but played on Android. We've had, I think, from what I could tell, we've had 2 previous mobile games. We had Catbird in 2019, and then followed by the next logical step, Super Cat Bros in 2020. And now this is the 3rd mobile game, I believe, that we featured in a GDQ, Sonic the Hedgehog for Android. What is speedrunning an Android game like, just in general?
Well, especially with a controller. I can say that for sure. It's really difficult with touch controls, yeah.
Gotcha. Is it difficult to set up or anything like that?
I have had some difficulty with an Android TV box, but managed to get it working, so in the end.
Cool. And then, so that's kind of talking about Android games in general, but is there anything different specifically about the Sonic 1 game, kind of headed from Genesis to Android?
Yeah, there's quite a few differences. First off, it's in 16:9. You can play as Tails and Knuckles. There's no glitches, so you've got no level wraps, zips, slope glitch. They've got new routes added, which you'll be seeing later, and you can add elemental shields as well.
Cool. And you said there are no glitches in this one. Is that because kind of the programmers, like, it's not even possible, or is it just not allowed in the speedrun?
Well, one thing I can think of is that in the original, you would do a zip in Labyrinth 2. Now, the reason you can't do it is because he's added what looks like an invisible tile. So it can't be done. I think he's just blocked things off.
Interesting. So I wonder if maybe like the developers saw speedruns and like how they even found out about that and like how they blocked it. That's cool. So now you're kind of forced to do it. Is it glitchless or just zipless?
It's glitchless, which I do love doing. I love pure platforming.
Cool. And so it's not just that. As you said, you now have, so you're now playing as Tails, who you weren't able to play as in the original. You have shields, you have spin dashing. So coming from a run of Sonic 1, kind of how do you have the same levels, so how do you kind of adapt to all these changes that the Android port introduces?
It was fairly easy. Just went through it, just look at some cool stuff, and that's it, yeah.
Were you a part, do you feel like you were kind of an active person in figuring out how to kind of make that transition, or yeah, like I want to, I'm curious a little bit about kind of just what in general it's like, kind of having to make all these changes. Like, so Tails wasn't available before, so how do you re-examine a level and say, okay, now I have Tails who has all these different changes. So kind of how do you kind of examine that?
Pretty just explore the levels, just just testing stuff, which I love doing, and finding some cool stuff out.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I feel like kind of planning that is always really a lot of fun. Many of the spin dashes and shields. Are you interested? And I think both, not only Sonic, but Knuckles is available too. Have you, so far, do you plan on doing runs with those, or is Tails your main interest?
I want to continue with Tails just for a little bit more. I mean, I'm thinking of maybe trying Knuckles and Tails, because that's a missed category.
Got it. Cool. Very cool. I got one last question for you. I'm always curious. Do you have any favorite songs from the series?
There's too many.
Yeah.
I don't really know. There's just too many. That's a hard question.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, if you think about it and get back to me, you let us know later on. But yeah, just thank you so much for joining us here today, Flying Fox. It's like you mentioned, you've been a part of this community for so long, so it's really been a pleasure speaking to you. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. So coming up next is, I believe, Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Then right after that is going to be Flying Fox playing Sonic the Hedgehog on Android, kicking off the Sonic block. Stay tuned. You'll want to see this.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Blecky and Flying Fox. Got a little bit of time here before the upcoming run. So let's catch up. Here's one real quick from our last run. I've got a $60 donation from Tip Daddy. Here's $20 for every time Yuka's tail was pulled. I still can't believe that run. Best of luck to the rest of the runners. I also have a $100 donation here from Random Numbers. Loving the event, and shout out to one of my favorite hosts. I still laugh uncontrollably sometimes thinking back to your hosting